Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, the following bout, 3 rounds of mixed martial arts action in the 140-pound division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, Carlos Munoz.
Carlos Munoz out of Red Dog, veteran Virgil Zwicker is cornering him. He actually has a gym out of Pachanga.
Oh, wow, that's nice. Yeah, we get to pick our own walkout music, guys, and it's kind of a cool thing being able to pick your own walkout music.
That's the only reason I fight.
You can see him right now. He's intense. Guys, we've seen a lot of people walk into this cage this night so far. And right now, he's got so much energy. He's giving everyone hugs. I believe that we talked to him earlier today,
yes.
You and I both in the back. We were worried we weren't going to be able to commentate his fight, but we ended up doing the whole card.
He's a native fighter as well. He's a Native American fighter.
He had so much love in his heart, but it wasn't rude. You know, it was the energy that he's displaying. It was with no ill will towards anyone. Just he wants to perform tonight.
Oh, he's very excited to get in that ring. As I said, we spoke with him earlier. And again, he's working with Bellator veteran, Strikeforce veteran, Virgil Zwicker, fought all around the world. So looks like he has some good coaching around there.
That's very important. You just saw how that affected Greg. He had a very tough first round, and he was still able to overcome it and put the pressure on in the second round.
Yes.
After being taken down right off the bat.
Having the right people behind you is key to be successful in the sport. Although there is natural talent, a good team always helps.
But yes, definitely brings you up. Teaches you from the experience that they have. Here we go.
And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, Bryan Bahena.
Wow. He's got some love, too. There's a lot of love for both these fighters.
Both guys local guys. This is a 145-pound fight. Liking the music from both guys.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've walked out to so many different songs. You've got to walk out into whatever mode you're going to fight in, right? I mean, if this is what does it for you, this is what does it for you. I've come out to Black Eyed Peas. Tonight's going to be a good night.
Was it a good night?
It was. It was at the Staples Center. And when you're getting the Vaseline put on your face, when all this is happening, it has to be your music. I hate walking to generic music because it's just some of the worst. It's his routine. It's here for everyone. I want to feel special.
Absolutely.
For my 15 minutes or my 25 minutes, whatever the fight is signed for. Wow. You see the referee right now checking to see if there's any grease anywhere extra on the body. They do this because some fighters cheat.
The old grease skate from BJ Penn, George St. Pierre too.
Oh yeah. Well, I was with BJ after that when I was with Jackson, and I saw BJ walk up and tell Greg, hey, no, I'm sorry about all that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following bout, 3 rounds of mixed martial arts action in the 140-pound division. The man in charge when the action begins, Greg Guzman. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 140 pounds even and makes his home on the Pachanga Indian Reservation. Representing Team Res Dog and the Fight Syndicate, Carlos Munoz. His opponent, across the cage in the red corner, hailing from Chicago, Illinois. He weighed in at 138 pounds even. Representing Eldred's School of Martial Arts, Bryan Bahena.
This fight is brought to you by Turp House CBD. Great products. I love their coffee flavor. Both guys touch gloves.
Circling. Now, oh wow, gotta be careful.
Oh,
rushing him right away, not even waiting.
What a crushing left hand.
Yeah, wow. He's really turning it on here.
There is no feeling out process here.
No, my gosh. You see, he's just turning it on, and he has not slowed down.
It looks like Carlos Munoz is the aggressor here and landing more successful shots. Bryan Bahena has had some luck.
Oh man,
These
guys
slugging.
have not held anything back. I'm watching Bryan. He's landing some kicks to the body, and I mean they landed and they were effective, and that can actually mess with your breathing. You can see Carlos breathing very deep right now because he just threw everything out there.
I'd rather get hit in the face than the stomach any day of the week.
Oh my gosh, Carlos is throwing heavy hands, and the fact that Bryan is still standing after taking these blows just speaks volumes for his chin.
Carlos seems to be overwhelming him.
Oh my gosh, if one of these shots from Bryan lands on Carlos, he's in trouble.
Bryan having a little trouble finding his footing.
You can see he was trying to spin, now he's going for a head and arm.
Good takedown.
Oh wow.
He's still in danger. He's got
You got to elevate the arm here.
He's got to flatten those shoulders to the mat.
It's not about holding the head in that position. It's about elevating the arm. Now he's giving up position, and now you see Bryan on top once again by the fence. I don't know if this is going to be enough.
Carlos gets up.
We need to see
both
a little
guys
bit more
breathing
out of Bryan to see if he can do something to win this round. Carlos breathing very heavy right now.
You see the volume go down a little bit in Carlos.
Bryan bleeding out of the mouth and still coming forward.
These amateurs must have left the oven or something. They do not want to let it go to the third round.
You can tell they don't have the shin pads on. That means they both have more than 3 fights.
Yes, these guys are experienced amateurs. Both guys breathing.
Oh my gosh, a big Superman punch.
Big Superman punch.
And once again, Bryan going for the takedown. Carlos looking to go for a guillotine. Oh, big shot knee. He was trying to knee the body.
Look at that right hand.
Carlos lands a right hand again. He's still going. I don't know how Bryan's still standing. Now Bryan's not only. No, Bryan is answering back. He's not just taking him. He's coming in hard. Oh my gosh.
Wow, what a fight.
For sure, this is a war.
This is quite the treat.
This is an amazing fight right now, guys. Everyone in this building is screaming at the top of their lungs.
We're going to hear that 10-second knock, and we're going to see. Let's see if they go crazy.
Wow. And you know what? They already went crazy.
Oh,
they're still going
crazy. Good right hand.
Oh.
What a round.
Oh.
Fight
we
got
yes.
a fight on our hands.
The
Cali
I
Cage
think
Wars.
that right now I give that round to Carlos Munoz.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you. I'm not a judge. You're not a judge. But that's not a 10-8 round.
No, not a 10-8 round.
Because in my eyes, Bryan landed damage back. He was throwing punches back. Yes, he took some big shots. He stayed in the pocket and he threw back.
I personally feel a 10-8 round, something significant has to happen, like being dropped or dominated. You got to earn those. You just can't give that away. And that being said, I thought Carlos Munoz is ahead, but by 1 point for this round in the 10-point must system.
Lately, too, you've seen the judging. Wow. 5 seconds, seconds out. You see the referee have to get involved there. Both fighters.
Seconds out.
No, you definitely don't want an unfair advantage here. Man, I'm so amped right now. I can't wait for this round, guys.
Again, Carlos Munoz, cornered by veteran fighter Virgil Swicker. Virgil Swicker never
Wow, that
Whoa,
right hand
what a right hand.
Came right down and he jumped on a choke. Oh, but
he's a little low. He's got to get those hips up.
Doesn't have the angle on the back. He needs to square up on the back.
He needs to get those hips up.
Bryan needs to get his right arm across the body and draw the line. If he's able to rotate, he's going to be able to get out of this. Carlos, you don't want to lose position. You don't want to end up on your back. It's almost better to bail out and get to your feet again.
Again, that was a big shot Bryan took.
That blood you see is coming from Bryan, but now he's on top.
What a reversal.
Oh my
now
God.
He's mounted. Threatening the reverse triangle.
Carlos is in trouble here, guys. He's tired.
He
and
needs
he's
to
put in a
keep
weak
bucking.
position.
He needs to buck and shrimp.
The referee will stop it if Bryan continues to do damage and Carlos is not able to defend himself. You see Carlos hanging on, guys. Yeah, you could think it's for falling.
He's trying to gut him over.
He's got to.
And he did. He guts Bryan over.
I thought he was holding on to survive from the onslaught of punches. You called it perfect, Tom.
No,
there.
he
Beautiful
gutted out
reversal.
that mount reversal.
I would have thought that Bryan would have released and just maintained position on top. It's about staying on top. You still got a minute and a half right now.
It's an unconventional way to reverse, but any means necessary.
But how is Bryan still coming forward?
Bryan back up, bloody and back up. Both guys bleeding.
Make some
Carlos
noise!
Munoz bleeding from the mouth as well.
This fight is amazing.
What an excellent night of fights.
If I'm Bryan and I see him winding up, I know he's just going to throw that right hand. I can come right back and counter it. But you've got to count on that. You can see Bryan looking at his corner. They know now he's waiting for that right hand.
Both guys tired.
Oh, spinning back fist. Oh,
it
right
looks
hand
like
lands for Bryan.
Right now it looks like Bryan's the fresher of the two.
This is very important. I think that last minute reversal may have taken a lot out of Carlos because he did exert a lot of energy there.
That was a very unconventional reversal.
Bryan slipping that right hand that time. As this fight has gone on longer, we're seeing Bryan have a little bit more success. But Carlos is, just as I say that, Carlos comes in with a mean combination.
Carlos seems to be landing the bigger shots
with more efficiency, that's for sure.
They have a little more thump for them, even though they are coming from the hip a little bit.
Oh, wow, kick to the body. Oh, my gosh. He missed with that. Oh, then the right hand finds him again with the right hand.
Carlos is losing his balance because of tiredness right now. I don't think he's necessarily raw.
He's breathing very heavy with his mouth open, and that's when you don't want to get kicked in the head because you can break your jaw.
You could see Bryan stalking him now.
Oh,
still
Bryan waited for that right hand. He's
Everybody get on your feet. Get ready for round number 3.
Unfortunately, I think it's not as tough as it. That first onslaught by Carlos, he dropped him with that right hand. That was a 1-2 right down the middle in that second round that really did damage and set up that round for a finish with the RNC.
Yes, and Bryan was coming back at the end, so sometimes the judges only see the last minute and a half more than the first minute and a half.
Right.
Like humans, it's just what stays on the mind pressure.
But you can never change that. It's always been a part of fighting. You can't. Hometown crowd, hometown judges.
It's going to be interesting how the judges see this if it goes past the third.
I don't understand how both of these fighters are still standing. I don't. I mean, they've both taken significant. If we had country box numbers, guys, you could see like significant strikes landed, or like through the roof.
I definitely think there's been over 100 punches thrown from each side.
It's good to see a hug out of them. Definitely touch glove on respect.
All right.
Wow.
Touch up.
Yeah,
Good display of sportsmanship.
Guys, this has been a beautiful display of violence.
Round 3 a lot slower. Now they're feeling each
other out. They have both earned the respect for the crowd to just wait because they know it's going to happen. That's awesome. You need that in the third round.
Oh, big time.
Oh, he tried a spinning heel kick.
Bryan with that spinning heel kick.
Well, he spun too. He waited for the right hand from Carlos, and then he spun to try to slip it.
Carlos seems to really be timing that right hand. You can kind of see him loading up.
Well, he wants to land it because he's had so much success in the fight so far.
That seems to be his best weapon.
I mean, I honestly don't think either of these guys can knock out each other because they both have tremendous chins. If this fight's going to end, it's probably going to end from a submission. I don't see these guys falling.
Again, with the submission work, we saw a back and forth scramble. So
from both, good bottom and top.
Yes, I think we're probably going to see a decision.
Oh my gosh!
Especially after the hard hits in the first round. Now they're losing a little bit of pep on those punches.
You got to be careful when you do that. Roundhouse, beautiful right hand by Bryan.
Bryan making up for lost ground.
He knows that right hand's coming. You can see Carlos winding up for it, but I can't blame Carlos because he's had just amazing time landing it every time he throws it.
Carlos needs to be throwing combinations. He needs to set it up with a feint or even a fake shot to set up that right hand.
Now they're doing a lot of single punch or single kicks, and when you leave your kicks and singles like that, you're susceptible to getting countered. And for sure, Carlos wants to throw that right hand, so he might just eat one of these kicks and throw that right hand.
Yeah, he's really trying to knock his head out of the park and trying to get that one-punch KO.
I would have liked to see these kicks from Bryan earlier in the round, like the first round, because that they pay amazing dividends later when the guy can't walk. Wow. Oh, there he got caught throwing that kick.
Bryan is back alive.
Man,
Carlos.
Both of these fighters have impressed me.
It looks like they got a little of their juice back for the last 45 seconds.
There's 40 seconds left in this fight, and they both want it. If you're Carlos, are you thinking that I've done enough? What do you think, Tom?
I think the last 30 seconds
beautiful.
Are going to decide this round.
I don't see it being 29-28. It might be 30-27. Carlos, oh, wow. But not to take anything away from Bryan.
Round 2 was very up in the air. I figured that was the closest. And we're going to see how this one plays out with 15 seconds left.
Now you're going to see these guys turn it on.
Let's see the last 10 seconds. I think they both agreed that they did enough all the fight.
Wow.
Great fight by both guys.
Everyone is clapping. That was a tremendous fight.
Oh,
very impressive, both fighters.
very good amateur fights. We're very fortunate today.
That was crazy. Very, very fortunate to be here to witness this.
Both fighters bloody and smiling.
Well,
that's what we like to see.
I just would have thought a couple of those shots we're gonna slow both of them down. I mean, I thought somebody was gonna get the TKO. I thought somebody was gonna get a knockout. The fact that they didn't drop each other like with those shots means they both have great chins.
Yes, yes. And you find that out in the amateur league if you could take a punch or not. That's why it's important.
Wow, that's awesome. Now they're both these fighters from the reservation.
Again, like I mentioned earlier, Carlos has veteran fighter Virgil Zwicker in the corner, and Virgil's never met a sandwich he couldn't finish.
I love sandwiches. Love them. And it's not true. There's a couple, if you watch Man vs. Food, where like it's impossible to finish. I don't know how that guy does it. Now, look at Bryan. He seems to have a little bit more energy. Like he wanted to go 5. Carlos having a little difficulty standing.
Well, both these guys were swinging for those home runs.
Yeah, well, probably because Carlos
The
knew everything he
official
had.
decision.
Oh, yeah.
All right, fight fans. Before we go any further, I've been in and around this sport for 2 decades as a fighter, a judge, and an announcer. That is the single greatest amateur MMA fight I've ever seen in my entire life. And I don't give a shit what these judges say. Both these kids just won that fight. That being said, after 3 amazing rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge 1 scores the bout 29-28 Munoz. Judge 2 scores the bout 29-28 Bahena. Judge 3 scores the bout 29-28 for your winner by split decision. In the blue corner, Carlos Munoz.
A split decision.
Well, I mean, it was arguable. Yeah, I mean, we talked about that too.
I think the judges made the right call on this, though. I thought Carlos did enough to win that fight.
Yeah, I think that kid's personality is as big as his heart is, because he went out there and he displayed a lot of aggression, a lot of tenacity. He came back from very vulnerable positions, like he was on his back, he overcame, he got back on top, back to his feet.
He got a lot of experience points from this fight.